All right, now let's explore these two functions in MATLAB. Let's start maybe by plotting them and make sure we know where the roots are. And then let's go ahead and use fsolve to solve them numerically. So the first thing I'm going to do is I created a function f1, and that's the first equation. I just pulled it back up here from the command history, so you don't have to watch me type it again. Same thing with f2, and then I typed in fplot. This -2 and 2 means I'm going to plot along the x range from -2 to 2. That's just setting the x range. And let's maybe add the grid to that as well. Pull this down here so you can see it. There, nice and big, looking good. Let's hold on, turn on the hold so I can add more stuff to it. And maybe modify this command a little bit. So there's F1. Doesn't match which order I plot these in. So there we go. Now, one thing we want to see here is let's turn the markers on. Maybe put dots there. I don't know what you want to put here. Maybe squares? Sure. So these are the x locations that the fplot function guessed that I needed. These are fairly close together, and if we zoom in, I'm going to click right there and zoom into one of these roots. Let's maybe pick the one on the right hand side. We're looking for where those two lines cross one another. And you can see that as we zoom in, it's showing us actually more and more points. I don't know if it's recalculating or it had those all in the first place, but whatever. The curve between those closely spaced points is pretty much straight anyway. So what it means is that these estimates of the root by zooming in are really pretty accurate. So looks like mine are 1.176 something. That's pretty good. Let's right click, restore view, and I'm going to close this. The next thing we're going to need, and I'm going to clear the command window here. I'm going to keep those. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this back up. I'm going to go ahead and define both of these using a single anonymous function. Now, there's a lot going on here, so let's walk through this. First thing is that MATLAB likes to think in terms of lists or vectors. So it likes to think in terms of lists of variables and lists of equations. So by opening that bracket there and closing it there, I'm telling MATLAB that what lives in here is a list of equations. So there's equation 1 and there's equation 2. The other thing is I'm telling it there's a list of variables. There's variable 1 and variable 2, but that sure doesn't look like what I had on the screen. What's going on here? Well, let's pause for a second. I wrote this out on my board and took a picture of it. So here's the picture. And you can see on the left is the original equations as I wrote on the board. And on the right, they're in some other format. So let's think about how we got from one to the other. So remember, the fsolve command expects the equations it sees to equal 0. So whatever you start with, so we started on the left there where it says original equations, and I went to something I'm calling here root format. Well, all I did was whip a little algebra on it so that there's an expression on the left of each equal sign and 0 on the right. That's what fsolve wants to see. Now, just as a reminder, fsolve differs from f0 in that fsolve can solve systems of equations and f0 only solves one equation. That's why we've gone from one to the other. So the last thing is that I've got x's and y's in that root format. Well, that's not what MATLAB wants to see. So all I did was rename the variables. X became x1 and y became x2. So now it looks like a list of variables inside a list of equations. Well, that's what MATLAB likes to see. So x1 and x2 are my new variables. They had been called x and y. So let's go back to the screen now. And see, it makes more sense now. There, x1 is x and x2 had been y. So I've got this, hit return, and there we go. So all I have to do now is type in fsolve. Oops, I spell it right. There we go. So f, now I have to give it a starting point, but I have to give it 2 starting points. So I'm just going to say 1 and 1. And there we go. Got a little chatty on me here, but that's the solution. Now, what does this mean here? Well, that's x and that's y. So x1, x2 in MATLAB terminology. And we saw in the plot that we got 1.176 something. Well, that sure looks like 1.176 something. That's the x value of the solution, and that's the y value of the solution. Just to check, does that look right? That sure looks right. Let's zoom in again here. Before I was only paying attention to x, so 1.167, whatever it was. Yep, that looks right. And so 0.384 something. Yeah, there we go. That's the solution. Now, if you're going to mess up fsolve, there's one way to do it that I thought was kind of insidious, really. Let's go back to here. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's clear the command window and go back to there. Now, when you're typing in commands in the command line, it generally doesn't matter how many spaces you put in. Here it does. If I do that, and I do that, and hit return, see that comma there, semicolon there, comma there? This isn't just 2 functions anymore. It now thinks it's 4 functions. It actually thinks it's a matrix of functions. If I type in fsolve again, just like I did before, it's going to tell me I don't have enough initial guesses. Yeah, well, this is kind of a left-handed way of doing it. Now it's calling a non-square system. What I did is I lied to it. It now doesn't think that's 2 equations. It thinks it's 4. I didn't give it enough inputs, and now it's doing something else. It's treating this as a non-square system, and I don't know what that is. It basically barfed on me. So let's fix that. Get rid of that space. Get rid of that space. Now hit return. Hit fsolve. Now I get my correct answer again. All right, so now you know how to use fsolve to solve systems of nonlinear equations. Now let's go on to linear equations.